All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you from, and what do you do?
Well, I'm here from Brownsville, Texas. If you're not familiar, it's in the Rio Grande Valley, the southmost point in Texas you can possibly be. We're right on the border of Mexico, right next to the beach on South Padre, all that. What I do for a living, I work for basically our Baywatch. I'm the chief for the beach patrol, ocean rescue, medical first responders, all that kind of stuff. That's what a pretty good gig.
Baywatch. Isn't that a movie? Baywatch?
It's a movie show, depending how old you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a little
is
nice show.
so how aligned is Baywatch the movie with your actual life?
I mean, I'm not The Rock, so I guess it's not very well aligned. But
Oh,
one day, I'm being.
so dude, with that, like, how long have you been doing Baywatch?
Well, beach patrol, I've been doing it for about 10 years now. This is 10 year mark with this gig. I've worked various agencies in Texas, but I've been with Cameron County Beach Patrol, which is where I'm at right now, for a pretty long time now.
Wow. And
Yeah,
what's some of the crazy things that you've seen patrolling
I
out
mean,
there?
there's just all kind of chaos. The more people you get, the more things can go wrong. It's kind of hard to judge a lot. We do. It's a fun job. There's a lot of exercise and being on the beach, being a professional beach babe. But when it gets serious, it gets pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can imagine.
The closest thing I even have to that is I was a lifeguard at a city pool for a few years. So,
Yeah, my first gig when I was like 16, working at the pools, some swim lessons for kids and
it,
lifeguarding.
yeah, yeah,
It's
that's
pretty
cool. Have you
good.
had any like shark attacks or anything out there?
Nah, that's not really something that occurs right here. I mean, we don't
No.
have seals or any kind of large things, so it's like people ask all the time. That's probably the number one question they'll ask. But I mean, they're out there, small. It's not. It's just not our area.
Gotcha. Cool, man. And so what race did you just win? What was that race called?
It was a Zion Ultras, the 100 miler.
Yeah, I went on to their results and I saw at the top your name and that you're from Texas, but then I remembered that I had messaged you before because you won the Habanero Hundred
Yeah,
recently too.
I won that back in August.
Yeah,
That was pretty good.
that's crazy,
Pretty
man.
good.
So where did this running journey start? How did it all begin?
Well, it's really only been doing it a few years. I think my first marathon was 2019. That was kind of just a fluke. I'm a swimmer. That's what I do. I swim for a living. Obviously, that's what I do. A friend of mine just gave me kind of an entry to a local half marathon. I did okay. I was like, all right, I guess do a marathon next, and that's kind of what I jumped into. And it's got the ball rolling. That was 2019. Then I tried a couple of more marathons, and then COVID hit, and there was nothing to do but run a lot more. So I just ended up getting into ultras that way. So, and then now I've just been pushing down a little bit more and more.
I saw on your Instagram you work out a lot. Um, you I was just watching a reel just before we hopped on your Instagram and like it showed you like diving down in the water and then throwing some weights and running. And man, it's so cool. So where did this journey start? This journey of who you are today?
Oh man, I guess that takes a long time. I started this tough thing gig kind of like maybe 10 years ago. Before that, I was really into like the hipster music scene. I finished college, got a job, and just like cruised by, got really bored, felt I needed something else, and I just kind of quit. Fell into this gig and beach patrol. I mean, it's extremely athletic. Like my job is tied to how athletic I am, saving somebody's life. 2 seconds can matter in the water. So it just went on from there. Found my passion through helping people, saving people, and then just rolled into the other stuff. And as I got climbed up that ladder at work, I had more free time, more ability to explore, and the water stuff already is very like I swim all the time, dive, surf, like you saw some of the stuff like that, and it just kind of ties in. And then once I joined this gym called Hard Knocks. It's a local like mecca, fantastic local leadership. Ronnie, I know you're gonna be listening to this, so thank you for being there. Great program, great atmosphere. They got me into a bunch of cross training, and then eventually just fell into the running thing, like I had mentioned before, and just want to see how far I can take it with running, swimming, just about everything else I do.
Sweet man.
Um, yeah.
Where'd you what did your, if you don't mind sharing, what'd your childhood look like, and is that like a key part to who you are today? Is, your childhood?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the valley pretty much my whole life. I moved away for a year for like Corpus Christi for some of the beach patrol stuff, but I came back. My dad is actually a running coach. He used
Okay.
to have records when he was younger, but he was like a track, short distance, stuff like that. He still has records that are upheld here in our hometown, Brownsville. So definitely a big influence there. But I butted heads with my dad back in high school, and like the running thing, it took me this long to pick it back up.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. Just my parents are great, my brothers are great. We're all you know, athletic family. My parents were athletes, obviously. My uncles and aunts, I have like a million of them, typical Mexican family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we're athletic background. It just took me a while to pick it all back up. I'm glad I did though.
Sweet. Yeah, man. What what made you want to go with this unique career compared to, you know, a corporate job or whatever?
I mean, like I said, I tried the office thing for a long time, and it just was not. It was not fun anymore. I
What'd
didn't
you try?
the office thing before, like I studied chemistry and went to, like a field related to that. And then I just, one day I just was like, I'm kind of over this. And it was like, maybe I'll go back to school or something else. And I kind of fell into this ocean rescue thing. And then I loved it, the first responder stuff, the adrenaline, helping everybody like day to day basis, like very tangible um, opportunities to help people. There's different ways to say people around there, but I really like what I do. It's been very rewarding and just fantastic. That's what's keeping me going.
Cool. Have you ever thought about, the military side of rescue? Have you ever thought about that?
I have considered it, but I'm pretty old already, so I've aged out
Okay.
about most things already. But I like what I do. I have a certain freedom that comes with the career path I'm on right now. Like when I work a lot, but there's also flexibility to it. I mean, I don't have kids or anything like that, thankfully. So it lets me really embrace this job and really move my schedule toward me. It also ties in with all the training. It lets me train as early as I need to, as late as I need to, and still like do my athletic part of the job.
Yeah, and what does that training look like? I know it varies. I know I'm a runner too.
Yeah.
But just typically, like, just kind of walk us through your training and why you train that way.
So my solution to everything is just wake up as early as you possibly can to get everything done. I knock out a 50K and then just like go to work, and then we work out more there. So inherently, we have to work at work. Like by default, we run, we swim, calisthenics, paddle, whatever, something water related every single day. So that's just the default of my life. And I choose to do like strength training. I like cross training a lot. And then the running, I just tack on, split up through the day, either in the morning before work or really late in the evening before it. I just make it happen and make it a routine. I kind of think of it as, brushing your teeth, having dinner. It's just a part of your day. That's something you can really skip.
How many miles a day do you do, or miles per week?
It depends on where I'm on a training program. Maybe anywhere from 60 to 100 miles a week
Okay.
on top of my other cross training. But you only run so much, especially down here. I don't know how familiar with the Rio Grande Valley. It's like the freaking tropical hellscape here. But it also ties in, like, we're so heat acclimated and you can never breathe here. It kind of helps when I go to all these places, especially since we're a flat land.
Is that area called the Valley? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the valley. That's what they
Okay.
call it.
I actually have a teammate. His name's Pedro on the cross country team here in college, and he's from there, from the Valley. He always talks about it. He's like, man, that heat in the Valley is intense, you know?
Yeah, there's no getting used to it. It helps you, but it's brutal, especially in like midsummer. It's so brutal.
Yeah. Is it like super humid down there?
Yeah, extremely. Like I think like every morning it's like 80 or above, usually 90 or above if there's no wind.
Have you ever heard of poor man's altitude?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Do you think that actually like attributes and helps you when you do go to places that are actually at altitude?
It helps me in the places that are dry for sure. Altitude still struggle a little bit, but when it's dry, like Utah, the race I just did in Zion was in the desert, and it was like, wow, I could breathe, like for
Yeah.
once. You forget how it feels.
Yeah, when you go into the dry heat, it's like nothing compared to the humid heat.
Absolutely. I just ate the sun because I'm in it all the time. So it helped for the race. It was for most of my races.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of research and looked into this whole humid heat, this poor man's altitude thing, and it's very interesting because it's like your body sweats, but it can't evaporate the sweat, and so your body just goes in like overheat mode.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the exact science of it unless you know it. Um, but it does deteriorate the crap out of you and like physically just like punches you.
Oh, absolutely. I see runners that come from other places, even altitude, come here and they just can't deal with it because it's just a different atmosphere. You have to get used to it, just like wherever you're from. Like I couldn't go somewhere 1400s to just like be pretend I'm okay.
Yeah. The only thing I could remotely remember from that part of Texas is I was at um, South Padre Island, I think is what it's called, and I was
Mhm.
running there, and it was actually really funny. I was running, and there's that bridge that connects Port Isabel um, to the island.
Yeah.
I tried running across the bridge, but I got pulled over. Um,
Yeah.
but I got to the island eventually because a friend came and picked me up, dropped me off at the island, and I just remember running, and it was just miserable. Even in the morning when the sun wasn't up, it was miserable.
Yeah, it's stiff. That humidity is even worse there. That's where I work, South Pottery. So I'm there every day from Brownsville. It's a short drive.
Okay, so
No, but
you
yeah,
know that bridge very well, huh?
yeah, I absolutely believe that contributes to whatever athleticism we have here. Some of the runners here are pretty tough. Some of the athletes in general are pretty tough.
Have you ever tried running across that bridge that connects?
They actually have an event every year, well, twice a year, where you can run across it without getting pulled over, by the way, if you ever want to join in. The Causeway Run. I think they're actually just had it like 2 weeks ago, and they'll have another one in the middle of the summer. But no, it's nice. The run up there is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had no idea because I don't I didn't see any signs saying that you couldn't like run or walk, and there's a little shoulder there. But I don't know. It was just me being young and dumb. So
No, no, like people from here, even like I had some friends from McAllen just asked me yesterday if they can run across there. I'm like, no, you can't. They're not like, are you sure? I'm like, pretty sure.
yeah. So
It's a common question. Yeah, don't
oh
worry.
yeah,
It
I learned the hard way. I thought
happens
he was
all
about
the
to
time.
arrest me. He was like trying to pat me down. I had my running vest on and stuff. It was pretty funny. Well,
Yeah,
that's neat, man. I want to know, you won Habanero, you won uh Zion. That's what it's called, right? Zion?
yeah. I think I was corrected while I was there. You're supposed to say it like lion, Zion. If not, you sound like a tourist. I still stand by Zion, though.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
I'm gonna use Zion. It looks like that's what it said, so
Yeah, yeah.
so like I guess we could go with Habanero. Kind of like share a little bit about that race, and then I want to hear your training for it. Obviously, you probably just ran around your town, uh, but tell us about that race and the training for it.
Oh man, so signing up, I don't know why I signed up. It was in December and it had a discount. I'm like, this sounds like a good idea. I'm like, wonder how race in the summer, right? I did it, no hesitation. Then I got into my training plan. I just basically kind of modified an old 100-mile plan that I had and trained in the sun. And I'm in the sun all summer long, so peak heat for me. So that was easy to apply. And running on the beach, I don't know how familiar you are with this Habanero like course, but it's very sandy. Like it's
Yeah,
horse trails and a horse ranch, but they use sand to build a lot of it. So if you're not used to the sand, it just destroys your Achilles. It's really hard to get used to, and I think that catches a lot of people off guard. Thankfully, I work on the beach, so I had plenty of sand to train all the time, barefoot or not even. Um, and I just applied that. I would just run later in the day to try to get used to the heat. And the humidity here does its job. And when I went to Habanero, it had just rained the last few days before that, and then the humidity just creeped up on everybody right after that. So I was pretty much at home when I showed up. It was a pretty big advantage, I think.
yeah,
And then the game day execution. I mean, it was a 10K plan, 10K loops essentially, and I just stuck to my paces and my heart rate, and it got me there, as consistent as I could be. It was hard, but I was able to execute it how I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that had to be a perfect fit for you, with where you're working and your training.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually got the course record on that by almost, I think, an hour and 45 minutes.
eh,
So it really tied in well.
how long did it take you to run the 100 miles?
That one was just under 19 hours, like
Wow.
18, something like that. Yeah,
What pace is that?
yeah. I don't know off the top of my head. It was probably like 10 and a half, 11 minutes somewhere around there.
Wow. That's intense, man.
Yeah,
That didn't make the
that heat took a lot of people out.
Yeah. That didn't make that a bad water qualifier. Have you ran bad water?
Actually, that's what I'm hoping to get into. They upped the requirements to get in, where you need 4 continuous 100-mile runs, and I need one more. So actually, I'm actually signed up for Brazos Bend 100 this calendar year, and I'll start trying to apply next year and hope I can get into it. I think I can do well with the heat. I mean, it's extreme heat, and well being a relative term here. And I'll see. We'll see if they take me. Second application. So, well, fingers crossed. I just got
Yeah.
first things first. I got to knock out Brazos Bend.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard it's dry heat. Um, we actually had, I think it might have been the female winner. I could be wrong. She could have just been a finisher, which is still a big accomplishment. But she is from Corpus Christi area, and she talked about how just being out in the humidity helps so much, and like all those Colorado runners out there just get destroyed by the Texas runners, and fair game
That's
for us there. So
that's reassuring. So if I get in, I'll keep that in mind.
yeah, oh yeah, and
I think at the at Zion there's well I know for sure now. Someone pointed out that the Badwater 135 female record breaker, the recent one, I forget her name right off the bat, but she came in first this year for the female overall, and she's the one that broke the record, and that gives me hope that I can do Badwater. So there.
yeah, yeah. I have you seen that like women in ultra running are like getting pretty close to men in the
Yeah,
finishes.
yeah, man. I stand by that. Like your mental game is on point compared to us. We're easy to fluster, but the women seem to be pretty tough and just keep moving. So
Yeah,
I agree with everything I've read so far.
yeah. I think it really just comes down to handling pain or not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna hurt no matter what, I guess. So
Yeah, yeah.
you're pretty safe. A little better than the men do.
So, man, tell me about Zion. That seems like a dream race. It looked absolutely beautiful. So, like, why'd you even sign up for that race?
Well, I've been to Zion National Park before, and I know how gorgeous it was. And it kind of just lined up with my calendar. I almost switched careers to go into the police department, but I got an offer to stay. I accepted it, and as a celebration, I signed up for Zion to just cement that I'm staying in this career or choosing to be in this career. And I was like, why not Zion? Go out of Texas for once. That's my first out of state ultra, and it was perfect. It was amazing. I mean, this you can't describe it like Utah is otherworldly, especially compared to where I'm from. Like we have the gorgeous beaches and whatnot, and palm trees, but it's nothing like we have down here.
Yeah. Um, and you said that did you say you were considering to be a police officer?
I was in the process of it, but my higher ups here at Cameron County came with an offer for me to stay, so I ended up choosing to stay here. I mean, I love my job. I was just
Yeah,
boring out a little bit.
yeah. Good deal, man.
So yeah,
Yeah, my dad, he actually is or he was, and he's a lieutenant now, but he's a police officer. Um, and he was in that field for a while, and it's pretty crazy, man. I know Baywatch is probably pretty crazy too, but
there's definitely a different kind of vibe being a police officer and the risks that you take there. Completely
yeah,
different. Mine, I have to worry about the environment. There, you have to worry about the other people being your issues. So I think, you know, I respect police officers. I have a lot of friends, a lot of first responder friends in all the categories. So I definitely know what they go through. And
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, man. They're what keep everything in order, keep the crazy people.
yeah, much respect.
Yeah. Um, so back to Zion, man. What you try, did you go in with the goal of wanting to win? Is that what you wanted to do, or did it just happen to be that
It
way?
just I just happened. I never go into any of these races like, oh, I'm gonna win. Or this.
Okay.
You don't know. You don't know who the competition is. And 100 miles is a long distance. Anything can happen, no matter how good or or moderate you are. You can like a lot. 20 hours is 20 hours. I just happened to win. I saw some talented people there. One another Texas person was there that I recognized. His name was Luis. I ran with him a little bit. I thought honestly he was going to take it, but I think I need to catch up with him. I don't know what kind of day he had because I lost him at some point, but he finished and in the top 10, so pretty good for him. But no, I just did my plan, executed, and again, just I just follow my perception rate and the terrain, which I'm not used to at all because we don't have any trails like that. Nothing technical down here at all. Most of my training, I say like 95% of it was on pavement. We have one hill that's 25 feet tall, and I had to do a lot of cross training and other things to adjust for this race. Even then, like there's nothing like actually having real trails and technical situations to train in. But it fit me well. I did the best with what my resources are here.
Yeah. What do you do for hill training or mountain training?
So like literally one hill here that I just run back and forth over and over like dozens of times, and a stairmaster helps here. It, I'll praise it as much as I can because it looks kind of dorky, but it helps so much for being a flatlander. And then a lot of strength training, a lot of leg work, sled pushes, things like that. I was lifting weights longer than I've been running. Um, HIIT stuff, and that contributed absolutely well because I integrated to my running training, so I'd be exhausted legs and I could still move my paces. So it helps. Like recommended, injury free. I didn't have any injuries this cycle whatsoever. So I'll stand by it. Like we need to lift more weights.
Okay. So 25-foot hill and stairmaster.
Yeah, that's all you
Yeah.
need apparently.
So, what's like at these ultra events and these, 100-mile races, what do you think or what do you see the biggest reasons people not being able to finish are? Um, is it diet or not diet, but nutrition? Is it um, lack of training, not mentally tough enough? What is it?
I think it's the mental game and the eating. I'll stand by it. I can eat like a garbage can the entire time. I just mosey on through the entire race. Like I can eat anything and everything. And I'm fortunate for that. I do see people have trouble taking in food, but mental game number one. I see everybody takes it way too serious, and I understand why. It's 100 miles. It's intimidating on any course. I went to this feeling very normal. I was like, okay, well, it's a 100-mile fun run. I just we did the training, did the hard part. It's just to have fun. I actually drove all the way up from over here, and it was like 1,800 miles. But I made stops along the way, went hiking, camping. I went up Angel's Landing the day before the race. So I just took it casual, had fun on the trip, and then did the race. And it went well. I think my crew said I never wavered. They saw a smile on my face the entire time. They saw me coming in. I definitely had some low points, but not any that showed to them, it would seem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
I
positive
think
attitude.
yeah, I think you're absolutely right, man. Yeah, I think those are the two biggest things for sure. Um, and as far as you talked about how you made stops and everything. In a way, you kind of just turned into a vacation.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I went to some places I hadn't been before that been on my bucket list, so I love it. Had a great time the entire time going up there. I'm glad I did it. If I wanted to be super serious, take it too serious, I guess I would have flown there, stayed in the Airbnb, and then just gone to do the race. But no, I had a good time exploring and checking everything out. It's part of the adventure, an attraction of like ultra racing. You go new places, running beautiful places, and there's Utah has so much around it. Can you not see? And Angel's Landing, like I got a permit for that like the day before. They had like a day before lottery for it, and I was like, there's no way I'm missing this opportunity. Let me go.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, man. And that company that puts that on is Vacation Races, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's the name of them. They have
Dude,
some really gorgeous locations on their roster.
yeah. I saw like Iceland, I think, or like, and maybe it was,
Yeah, they start doing international races now. So some of those are pretty iconic. I think like South
yeah,
America, Central America too.
that must be really cool to be able to go put on a race in like a beautiful, like other country. But I bet it's such a logistical challenge of like getting all your supplies there. And
Yeah, I can't imagine. I've only we only put together a small local race here to fundraise for like an ocean rescue competitive team that we have. It's a quathlon. It's only like 800-meter swim and like 5K, and that, even then, that's a logistical nightmare because of the water stuff. So I can imagine international work.
Yeah, dude, it's literally insane. That'd be so neat though. Like imagine being able to, go to another country, set up a course mark in a beautiful area, being from the US. And that'd be
Yeah,
neat, but very hard. It looks pretty.
absolutely.
That's kind of with everything. It looks good and nice and pretty on the outside, but there's so much more that goes into it. And it's not as like luxurious as it looks.
And then my luxurious when you're running 100 miles there. Yeah. Travel halfway across the world to go suffer in beautiful places. I think that's pretty fun.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's really neat, man. It sounds like Zion was just a good time.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. A lot of people there told me to do Bryce Canyon too. They also put on the Bryce Ultra, so I might consider that for the future. They said it's a much harder, but it looks great. So might do that next year.
Yeah, Bryce Canyon Ultra is also a really neat one they put on. It's pretty popular. So, um, whenever you uh, finish the race, how was the drive back sitting in the car for a while?
It was a little rough. I say, luckily I had a driver, and she took over half of it. We were taking turns, just dealing with the lack of sleep and driving back. But we did the drive back was a little rougher because we did it in 2 days. When I went up there, it was like 3 days, so I got to split it up a little more. We had to be back in time. I actually had to go right back into work the next day when I got back, so no time to rest. And that was like less than 2 weeks ago. This is actually one of my first days off since.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty intense, man.
that's what happens when you're a professional runner. You got to work for it.
Well, sweet, man. As far as so, you talked a little bit about your future goals. Um, what are your plans ahead for your life? Like, it doesn't even have to be running related. Like, what are you um looking forward to in the future?
Well, I mean, I like to hike and camp, just like about everybody else here.
Yeah.
This kind of sport. So I have a bucket list of places I need to go to and visit
What are those?
before we get started. Uh, I'm trying to get up to like more West Coast, Midwest national parks. I think I'm gonna go up to Colorado this September because I have a 50K I signed up for casually. Piney Woods Ultra. That's the one I'm gonna do, and it's kick it off and go make a road camping trip starting with Colorado, and I might make my way up north. I haven't planned it completely yet, but that'll be on the bucket list for this year. I'm probably going to Big Bend in the summer again. It's kind of hot, but it start kind of early. Just hit West Texas. I go there a couple of times a year. It's fantastic. But no, yeah, go international. I need to get more international hiking and camping travel soon. Iceland probably for my 40th birthday. I know they have a marathon there. I don't know if they have any ultras there yet. I haven't done enough research, but that'll probably be what I do for my 40th.
Iceland
Yeah,
is a place that I've wanted to go to for years, but I heard it's like really expensive there. It's
yeah,
like one of the most expensive places you can travel to, right?
yeah. Also one of the most unique places you can travel to. So it might be worth it. At least go once. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, Iceland is like when I see pictures, it's like it seems like a different planet almost.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Northern Lights, of course. Everybody wants to see that, and I'm no different. I want to see it too.
Yeah. Then the hours are weird there too, because like they get 18 hours of daylight or you
Yeah,
know.
depending on the time of year you go.
Yeah. What time of year would you plan on going to Iceland?
I'm not sure, just because I haven't done enough research into when would be a good time to go. I kind of want to catch that gap where there's not as many tourists versus where it's still kind of nice to go to places. It's kind of the gap I try to hit when I go anywhere. Too
Yeah.
many people can be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like when there's a lot of people.
It's a
Yeah. I feel like it takes away too much of the um adventure aspect because you don't feel like you're discovering it. You feel like you're like, oh, everybody else is here.
yeah, yeah. I feel two sides of it like that for sure. Everybody like too many tourists can make a little rough, but also like these national parks and everything. There are lands, they're all our lands. We should all be able to have access and enjoy it. But still, I like the privacy of enjoying it myself.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that they made national parks. Because imagine if there weren't any and it was just all cities and stuff built in those, that would suck.
These
We
are
would,
definitely good for our mental health, and feels like we're going back home every time we're out there.
yeah. I think if we never had national parks, it would be within capitalism, like people's properties. They would have it to where people could come on their property and hike or whatever. But it would probably be like crazy rates, though, to keep it up and running.
Yeah, you've definitely seen the private owned places for sure. I'm not, like they're packed, a little too bougie for my taste. I like the rough side of things. I sleep outside on the floor. I gotta keep it that way.
Have you ever tried cowboy camping?
I haven't yet. No.
You haven't? Do you know what it is?
It's loosely familiar with it.
So cowboy camping is sleeping outside with no tent, nothing, maybe a sleeping bag, and you just prop up on a tree and go to sleep.
I've seen a lot of hammock campers like that,
Yeah.
but I have yet to try it just because of the whole fear of bugs. There's a lot of crawlers in Texas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
getting
Um,
getting into the water. Anyways,
so what advice do you have um for for people? Like, what do you want to let the listeners know that could help them? It could be running related, life related, anything.
no, this since we're talking about running, let's keep it on running. Really, the only advice I have is I don't think I'm extraordinary for what I choose to do these harder challenges because I chose to do them. I want to do them. You have to. Anybody can do any of these races that we're doing. It's within all our scopes. It's just a matter of wanting to do it, being consistent, and finding the right information and plan for yourself. I think I'm very, very average, but I choose to push the envelope. And I think that's possible for all of us. I'm no different than anybody else here. So just get at it, make the decisions of what your goals are going to be, and just figure it out. And ask questions, ask for help. There's a whole community of people have been doing this for a long time, and the information is out there. Just don't be afraid to invite others, ask others for help, and just get at it. I love the trail running community. Everyone's so welcoming. Yeah,
Do you do a lot of solo running?
yeah, I basically run by myself like 99% of the time, just because of the hours that I train at. And kind of like the ultra running is not particularly big here in the valley, just because we don't have any trails. There aren't really many trail runs here either. So um, I run by myself almost all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you kind of wish sometimes that you were running with people, or do you enjoy that solo aspect of it?
I enjoy both. I'm kind of an awkward person in general, so I can really reflect, run into some beautiful places, or just think about my life and whatnot, or just about nothing sometimes. But the few times I get to run with other people, it's been fun. Usually, most of them are conversationalists and are very happy to be out there. Endorphins are rushing, and especially in these ultras, the few times I get to run with people with extended periods of time, and I met some fantastic people. I'm very happy to have started to trail running thing. It's just this whole community of people are just there working together against these tremendous challenges. It's not everybody versus everybody. It's everybody versus getting this done, bringing this race done. Being this 100 miles, making sure everybody's okay. Somebody falls down, pick them up. I enjoy running with other people. I just don't have the opportunity to do it a lot here because of the uniqueness of the sport for this area.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely understand that too. So, do you happen to listen to anything? Like, do you listen to any podcasts, music while you run, or?
No, I'm insane. I basically run with a handheld. Like Zion, all I did was run with a handheld and a chapstick, and I just would just load up at the stations and keep going.
What in the world are you thinking about the whole time you're running, dude?
There's so much. You're running for so long by yourself. You just think about it. I really think it's not always deep, not always, but it gives me a lot of peace of mind. Really, work out everything in life in order. Sometimes you just think about the dumbest things. I make a lot of dad jokes when I'm out there by myself. I'm just literally saying them out loud to myself. Maybe I'm annoying some of the other runners when I do it too at the races, but I just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who you remind me of? Just your mannerisms. And
Hmm.
tell me if anybody's told you this. It's a compliment. Have you seen Elon Musk interviews?
No, I haven't really.
You haven't? You and Elon Musk have so
Oh
similar
no.
mannerisms.
We actually have SpaceX here. They just launched a rocket very recently and exploded after a few minutes. So, a
I
rough
saw
one.
that. I saw that
But
on your story, I think.
yeah. With where my office is in South Padre, like it's the closest you can get to the rocket launch without being at the actual site. So it was you get a good view of everything. It's pretty cool. It's totally exploded.
So is SpaceX on South Padre Island?
It's on Boca Chica Beach, which is the neighboring beach. Just like there's a channel, but it's right there. It's a couple of miles away. Like you can
Wow,
see the rocket. I see the rocket in the launch site every day when I get driving to work. It's right there. It's really
that's
close.
insane, dude.
Yeah.
How's that? Like, how was seeing a giant rocket go into the air and then
It's
explode?
it's amazing, and then everybody's like cheering, and there's so many people there. I think I had to go. We had to go in like 5 o'clock. We had to go at 2 in the morning, just getting ready for the all the crowd that was going to be there. And it's just otherworldly, like we have rockets launching off in our backyard. Pretty, like I said, pretty cool. I'm a fan of the exploding part, and it kind of trashes a lot of stuff, but it's amazing to see. Like a rocket launch right there,
Yeah.
right above the water.
Do they go back in like did the pieces fall into the ocean? They went and got them, I guess. Or do you know?
I saw a lot of stuff on social media of the pieces washing up. I didn't see anything on our side, but I hear on the other side there was a fair amount of debris.
Is that like a safety issue with debris just falling out of the sky like that?
I mean, not so far. Definitely not, like the environment there trashing the
Yeah,
water. It's hard to retrieve. I'm sure it's causing some kind of damage.
yeah. Well, cool, man. You got a really unique life and a very
Yeah,
amazing one, I'd say. So,
thank you. I enjoy. I'm a very happy person. I gotta enjoy what I'm doing and where I'm at.
what makes so I want to ask you this real quick because it's something that lacks in America, in our society. It seems like in newer generations. But what makes you so happy?
I don't know. I found my calling, and I'm fortunate enough to get to do that for a living in an actual comfortable position where I'm getting paid a good amount and a living wage to do it, which is very rare, right? To be happy, being paid well, and it's fulfilling. Like I said, I get to save people. I tangibly have saved a lot of people over the last 10 years, and I don't like to brag about that because that's just my work, and I think anybody else would do it too. But it's fulfilling. I'm doing a lot of good work while I'm out there. And then my personal life. I mean, I explore. I'm as healthy as I can be, and I get to see these beautiful places on my time off. So, and then just day to day, I get to be on the beach, wonderful environment. Get to swim for a living. Can't beat it. People try to retire to tropical areas, and I get to be in one every single day. It's just, and I have a great community, great friends that I care about a lot. All sarcastic, awesome people.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I I know that um I know that pool lifeguarding is nowhere near Baywatch over there, but I will say when I was a lifeguard and I was working in, we've had a couple saves where we would have to jump in. That is such a experience,
Mhm.
like jumping in to save someone's life. And because you have so many, your emotions are kind of going off in a way, and you're just trying to go as fast as possible to save that person's life. And then when you get them out and, you get them and you get them out, it's like I'm glad they're okay. And
Yeah,
that was kind of epic. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, no, I know the feeling. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah, you know it better than I do. Yeah. Well, that's super unique, man. Um, yeah, you just seem like you have so much gratitude, and it's just really cool to see, man. There's just so many great people in the ultra running community, and like every person I have on the show, it's just great people.
That's that's awesome. Yeah, like
Crazy,
I've met so
crazy
many great
people.
people through it.
Do
I'm
what? What'd
glad.
you say?
I'm glad all these like well-adjusted but also insane people are in this sport. You know.
Yeah, there's I'm trying to really wrap my head around if there's something truly wrong with ultra runners. Like is it actually insane or is it actually like no, there's like a legitimate reason behind it, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure everybody has their reasons. I just enjoy it. I like the challenge. Let's see how far we can take this before it's over.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of Forrest Gump style. Like, I don't know, I'm just running, man, you know?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Because like again, like I said, it's not common here. People are like, "That must be crazy," but then you go there and there's like 200 people trying it with you. You know?
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty neat. Just yeah,
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
yeah. We love all you ultra runners out there and trail runners and just any runners. So
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to training one of your races soon. As soon as it lines up with one of my calories, I need to jump in there and try them out. I was looking into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Come check them
you
out,
have the
man.
championships and the qualifiers for them too. Like, you gotta see that.
Talking about the Texas Ultra Championship.
Yeah, yeah. See, I was just looking into it recently. After you reached out to me, so look, you got some good stuff going on, man. I need to jump in. I really do.
Yeah.
I've seen on your social media here and there. So, well, I promise I'll be there sooner or later.
Yeah, come on out, man. We got some cool stuff. And when you decide you want to come out, let me know and I'll get you like a discount code and stuff because you're a guest on our show. So
Awesome, thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah. Which races kind of stand out to you the most that you're kind of thinking about?
I'm not sure yet because I want to do everything. I don't want to repeat any races. I'm trying not to repeat any, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna run out races soon here. I'm starting to expand into other places, but probably next season I'll look what fits into my calendar. Because again, like I do gotta bounce around over work too. Like summer is pretty busy, and then like spring break, March is pretty rough, and that's why a lot of the good entries start happening like March, April in Texas
Yeah.
at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It gets pretty crazy in spring and fall just with races everywhere.
yeah, I look forward to it. That's when I actually have the most freedom because it's pretty slow in the fall and winter time. I get more flexibility to train and not stress about the work. Because if something happens at major reps at work, they call me get going out there.
So does it get cold in the valley in the winter?
Yeah, yeah, we have cold fronts. It's pretty chilly. The water gets chilly. I don't swim as much in the winter. But it overall, I mean, it's still pretty warm, like compared to anywhere else, winter anywhere else.
What's the temperature down there usually? Like what's chilly?
Anything below 70 is cold for us.
Seriously. So does it
Yeah.
ever get like in the 20s or 30s?
It'll drop down into the 40s, 50s. Very rarely does it get into the 30s or 20s. I guess whenever all of Texas is freezing over, that's when we get into like the 30s, 20s. But rarely gets that low.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the place to be in the winter then.
I don't know. It's pretty windy though.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And with the same thing, the humidity on the other side, it makes it really hot. It also makes it freaking cold. Like you feel it in your bones, even though it's not that cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. You got anything else for the listeners? Anything you want to talk about? Anything for them?
Not much. Just if you're haven't given an ultra a try, go and do it. Surprise yourself. Be something really cool and something to do before you die.
Yeah. And who was the guy you said that's probably gonna be listening to this?
Ronnie from Hard Knocks. He's the owner from my gym. So
Oh, okay. And you said Ronnie?
Ronnie, yeah.
Okay. Shout out to you, Ronnie. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.